Today we'll be asking for one big question in every NFC team. So we've already done the AFC. If you haven't checked that out, go check this out after this video. But today, NFC teams, all of them, what is the big question for this team going into next year? But before we get there, don't forget to check out DUBBY.gg. Use code SHREDDER on any of their products, whether it be their energy drinks. It's right here. I have the blue raspberry flavor, my favorite. I think it tastes great. I think it's one of the best energy drinks I've ever had. They're less than $2 per drink. You're not going to find that for any other kind of energy drink. So go check it out. Use code SHREDDER for 10% off the drink mixes, the shakers themselves, the other merch, whatever you want. Use code SHREDDER, 10% off, DUBBY.gg, or click the link in the description. Either way, let's get right into this video. All right, we will start off in the NFC East, starting with the Commanders, a team we don't ever start with because who would ever start with the Commanders? But my question for them, is Jaden Daniels finally the answer at quarterback? This team has circled the lot, finding quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback with none of them working out so far. I think it boils down to, can he stay healthy? Can he survive? Can he make good decisions? Which I'm not too sure of. I really don't know. His college tape shows a lot of very poor decisions, whether it be passes thrown that he was bailed out by two amazing receivers, or also taking hits that made him look like he was a gummy worm. Neither are good options. Neither at all. The Cowboys, to me, it's McCarthy, it's Dak. Is it the regime change? Something has to give. This year is the end-all be-all for this Cowboys regime. If it goes well statistically, if they win a bunch of games and then they still lose in the playoffs, one of Dak or McCarthy will be gone. Maybe both should be gone. Maybe everyone should be gone. I think there's two pieces on this team right now that could be reserved if this team doesn't win this year, and it's CeeDee Lamb and it's Micah Parsons. Everything else is a blowout sale. We'll take pennies on the dollar to get rid of because it's just time to move. It's just time to change. For the Eagles, simple question here. Is it the X's and the O's or is it the Jimmies and the Joes? And by the Jimmies and the Joes, I'm not talking about the roster, which is generally what that refers to. I'm talking about the coaching staff. Is there something wrong with how it might seem like the same thing. X's and O's are the coaching staff, right? No, I'm talking about, is it schematics? Is it last year the scheme just didn't fit the players? These players are wildly talented. One of the best rosters in the entire league that got better this offseason. However, could it be a coaching problem? Could Sirianni be an issue? Personally, I don't think he is. I think it's got to be the X's and the O's. I think it's got to be more the coordinator. The schemes they were in last year. I think that has to be the bigger issue because if it was Sirianni, I don't think they would have made a Super Bowl in the first place. Either way, to the New York Giants we go. This one, how fast can we get off of Daniel Jones? Can it be today? Can it be tomorrow? Does it have to be in a year? I don't know. We got to do it quick. Next up, the NFC North, starting with the Bears, a big, massive team here that we, wouldn't be considering massive as of last year, but now Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift. I mean, tons of additions. And that's kind of the question. Can this team win right now? How close is this team to winning? Because if Caleb Williams really is what we expect him to be, could he be the first rookie to win a Super Bowl, to win an MVP, to things like that to happen? That's a big question. That's a lot of expectation. I'm not really expecting either, but maybe 2 years is really reasonable in terms of, winning a Super Bowl, winning something for real. This team looks really, really good on paper. Let's see it on the field. We got to see it on the field. I think this could be really good. I mean, looking at what we saw last year from a team that had a terrible quarterback and, not the best receiving options. They got a lot of additions with Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift. I think this could be a team that could be really, really scary, really, really, really fast. Next is the Lions. Are they the best team in the NFC? Because they just might be. A lot of losses out there in San Francisco. I think they lost more than they gained, and they still might be ready to lose. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. One of them may not be on the roster come halfway through this season. I don't know. Maybe they aren't. Maybe they are. Either way, they could very well be the best team in this conference. I don't know if I said division earlier. They're definitely the best team in the division. Can they be the best team in the conference? I think that's definitely possible. Philly's there. Niners are there, but worst they're 3, best they're 1. That's how it is for them. The Green Bay Packers, my question, Jordan Love is good, great, really amazing, generational? I don't know. maybe he's a bust. Because 1 year wonder, that happens. RG3, 1 year wonder. Damian Pierce, just 2 years ago, at a different position, but nonetheless, 1 year wonder. We got to see it again from Jordan Love. And to be honest with you, he isn't a 1 year wonder. He's a half-year wonder. The first 2 games were great for Jordan Love. Then he dropped into 6 to 8 weeks of mediocre. Wasn't very good at all. A lot of issues. Could you contribute that to maybe the defensive coordinator? Probably. Could you contribute that to a bunch of 6-year-old wide receivers? Maybe. But we got to see Jordan Love take massive steps in consistency. That's the big thing. Consistency. That's the guys who are, the Aaron Rodgers, the Patrick Mahomes, the Tom Brady's. They amplify the easy things, the consistencies. We got to see that from Jordan Love, and then this guy might be amazing. The Minnesota Vikings, the final team in this division. When does J.J. McCarthy start? Does he start week 1, week 7, after the bye week, whenever that might be? Next year? I don't know. But that's the big question for this team because the future is only as far as J.J. McCarthy is. And I think he could be a very, very good rookie quarterback, a very good quarterback for the rest of his career. But is he ready for that now? Does he need to take a step back? I think go ahead and throw him in the fire pretty early. Maybe not week 1, but maybe week 3, week 4. If Sam Darnold doesn't look very great, go ahead and put him in. I don't think there's a lot of time to waste for J.J. McCarthy on a team like this. Next up, the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How far can Baker Mayfield lead this team, or any team? We have seen Baker Mayfield go to the second round of the playoffs in Cleveland. We've seen him, maybe be really good at times. And, this ego shift he's had when he got, let go of in Cleveland, then in Carolina got let go of again, then in LA, he played well after being humbled quite a bit. Does that ego change really help him as a player, as a leader, as a teammate, as a quarterback in the locker room? Lead this team to a place that they haven't been since the early 2000s. Can Baker Mayfield win in a lower level NFC? Because, yeah, you've got good teams like the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Niners, the Lions. But everything else, it might be wide open. We're one good play away from Jordan Love not being that great, from things like that, because they haven't proven their worth yet. Can the Bucs do something soon? Maybe. Is their head coach going to get in the way? Maybe. We'll see. Falcons. For them, to me, it's kind of a one-year question, but will the Penix pick hurt more than help? At this point, Kirk Cousins, you've already made him mad once, and he's not been here. It's not the same as the Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers pick, because Rodgers was there for 15 years before that. This is a different situation. Penix is not, in my opinion, going to be a very good NFL quarterback. He doesn't move well in a game. He just doesn't play like that. He's very standstill. And that's just not the modern player. Kirk Cousins moves more than this guy does in gameplay. I think you're going to throw Penix out there whenever you do, and he's going to look like he's in panic mode all the time because he's not going to have the time he had in college. He's not going to have the receiving threats he had in college in terms of skill level comparison to the defenses they played against. And I think taking him at 8 when you could have taken a Dallas Turner, you could have taken a Cooper DeJean, Terrion Arnold, or Quinion Mitchell, whatever corner, whatever defensive player my point is, that could be very detrimental more than anything else. Then the next team is going to be the Panthers. This one is, do we have enough to help Bryce Young? Bryce Young had a really, really, really bad year last year. They have 100% improved this offensive unit's weapons. They improved the line, getting guys like Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis. Improved the line for sure, but the weapons. They've improved. Better than Adam Thielen and Jonathan Mingo. But, you bring in Deontay Johnson, who is a really good receiver, and I think is the kind of receiver that Bryce Young does need. A guy who, Deontay Johnson is one of the best route runners in the league. He may not be one of the best receivers, but he is 100% one of the best route runners in the league. Top 2 or 3 route runners probably, if not even better. This guy's always open. Whether it's a good route or bad route, a good ball or bad ball, Deontay Johnson's open. That's a great thing to have. But he's also getting a little older. Adam Thielen is only a year older. Xavier Legette, great young promising rookie. That's great until he, is potentially a bust. You don't know. You just never know with these guys. Jatavian Sanders, that's great until he's maybe a bust. Chuba Hubbard, an average running back. He's good, just not amazing. Jonathan Brooks, would love to see him, be a great player. We got to see that first. You can't just expect him to do that. Is that going to be enough for Bryce Young to really prove himself? And finally, the New Orleans Saints. If Derek Carr doesn't work soon, do you just blow it up? Do you have a fire sale? Week 8, if you're 4-4 or worse, do you just send everything out for whatever you can get? If it's a 7th round pick 10 times for 10 players, is that all you take? Is that what you do? Because this team, let's just be real, has little to no upside if Derek Carr fails. There is terrible cap situation. Not a lot of draft picks involved. This is not a good spot to be in, New Orleans. Y'all need Derek Carr to pan out really, really, really bad. Or a miracle to happen with Spencer Rattler, which not too fond of myself. And for our last division, the Arizona Cardinals will start us off. And my question for them is, how good can we be today? Today, not tomorrow, today. Because Kyler Murray has shown flashes of being amazing. Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best prospects at the receiver position we've ever seen, period. That's all great. Until you realize that the rest of the roster is still pretty bare bones. A lot of Cardinals fans think that this team's made massive improvements. And they have. They went from a 50 overall to a 70 overall. And guess what? They're the only team in a 70 overall still, probably. That's a stupid example, but I'm hoping you can follow. Last year, their roster was not good. Guys who would probably be on XFL teams if they played for any other team last year. This team's not very good on the roster-wise. They have a lot of improvements still left to do. However, I think Kyler can carry. I think it's possible. But how far can he carry is the question. 49ers. My question for them is similar to Baltimore's. Did we miss our shot? If you haven't checked out the AFC video, go check it out. I gave you a little hint there. Did the Niners miss their shot? You know, they're going to have to look at, will they have Ayuk or Debo next season? Probably not. Will they have them at the end of this season? Maybe not. You don't know. But this team, like, it's only going to get worse from here. Purdy's going to have to get paid. Other guys are going to have to get paid. Can you really say that this team is going to have more chances better than last season in the Super Bowl? Not too sure about that one. For the Rams, the question here is the title window closed for Matthew Stafford? I think it is very likely that it is. Not so much that it's the Rams' fault. They could be very good this year, but his health is going to be an issue. The Niners are going to be an issue. The Packers, the Lions, the Eagles, the Cowboys are all going to be a big issue. The roster got better. I do like what the Rams did this offseason, but we've got to see a lot from this team. A lot of young guys have to continually step up. You know, Byron Young and Kobe Turner, they're not going to get Aaron Donald next to them helping them win all of these one-on-ones. They're going to get doubled. They're going to get a lot harder of matchups. They got to prove themselves big time this season. And then for Seattle, my question is, how long is Geno Smith's leash? I don't know that this regime is going to be in love with Geno Smith. I think if he doesn't play well very quickly, if he plays very average, there's a real world I think they could turn to Sam Howell. I think it is worthwhile to consider that. I think it's good to know for Geno that he could be on the chopping block if he doesn't play well very quickly. Either way, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about these. What do you think the big question is for any of these teams? Let me know what your question is, and I'll see if I can answer that myself. Either way, thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.